This is Teresa Phelps Martin in the virtual space of Soulfully You, coming to you with double water, cardinal and mutable, on a day that's going to ask us to go inward at a time and a point of closure and new beginnings. And I've been talking about this, I think, all year long. If you've been tuned in at all to anything I've been sharing, is that we're in this journey of grand collective transition on so many levels. There's a reawakening and personally for me, a remembering and a restoring and a realize and an allowing of a connection to energy that's been asleep. Not in a bad way, or an energy that's been silenced or hushed. It has more to do about the way we live and organize the energy of our day than anything else. I'm going to give a big confession to this amazing book I'm reading. It's called Consciousness in Every Woman. Sorry, it's not called Consciousness in Every Woman. It's called Goddesses in Every Woman. This is just one of many books I'm reading. I have a lot of books on my shelf. I have not read every single one of them, but every single one of them has wisdom that speaks to me. And in this remembering or reimagining, we have to welcome in new perspectives. So double water today. Right? Mutable is just like kind of the water, river water that flows, right? You know, it just keeps moving, it adapts, it runs into a rock, it moves over this way, and it changes through its continuous flow. It changes the landscape. Hi, Pat, I'm so happy you are here. I know you have so much going on in your life. Who doesn't right now? Like, my life is still really, really simple, except for it's not. I am required in ways that I've never known before. So anyhow, and it's kind of intense. So simple is really not the word, but it's simple in what I can produce. I can't produce much other than care for others and be a foundation and a rock. And so I'll just keep showing up this way. So anyhow, that mutable water is that water that flows, right? And it flows for so long, it creates a groove in the structure and the infrastructure. It is also the land where we dream. It's where we feel. It's our creative. It's the mystical. It's the musical. So if you can listen to music while I teach today, do it, okay? Do it. It is physiologically the part of our body, that energy, that current that runs up and down, okay? It's that current from the upper palate down through the rivers of the side body, through the legs into the feet, okay? It's cardinal water is that water of the mother. So I'm gonna go to divine mother, although a lot of us have to learn how to remother ourselves because we were never allowed to be a child, right? This is a whole other conversation, but that ability to learn boundaries and ways to take care, and I mentioned it in one of the daily posts, and I've mentioned it many times before, is the sacred self-care. The sacred self-care is actually going in and going to the depth of yourself and nourishing those dark crevices. Because just like my daughter this morning, my little goddess, who is a main ingredient of all this remembering, was asleep. And I had to get into the shower, and she was asleep on the couch outside, which I feel fortunate enough to have a safe space like that for her. But we do have a deal. If she sleeps in for me, she gets rewarded. So I heard her tears. And so immediately I just went to her and held her and said, were you scared? And she said, yes, gave me a long list of how I'm supposed to do it different. But we just sat there and we laughed and we cried, and you know, she was allowed to be a child. She was allowed to be innocent. She was allowed to be scared. And I was allowed to not project onto her, you know, am I doing this right or wrong, but just show her love, okay? So this idea of reimagining is this initiating our lives with a way to care for ourselves. You know, sometimes we're taught that mothers just take care of everything. That's not healthy, just in case you need to hear that. But we can be in dialogue, we can be encouraged, really that initiatory or leadership of the nourishment is about presence, is about coming home, is about holding space for the intimate layers of ourselves and honoring that. So in that, we're going to work with the sacral region today, low back, hips, and I want to encourage this breathing, and we're going to be very ripply, okay? So if you're just like, I don't need ripple, we got to get out of this fixated energy to make things the way they are, because I'll talk about it more on Thursday, is we're really kind of in a soul shakedown. And we're in a restructuring. And so let's reimagine. Let's just take it slow and reimagine and be fluid and nourish and saturate. And hopefully anybody who's getting hit by the tropical storm, that you can receive the waters. You can receive the waters of compassion to saturate the soil and allow that energy, those seeds that we've planted deep within, to blossom and come forward. So I'm also hoping it rains here. We need it. Okay. Let's go. So sacral region, psoas, just Perry, if you're watching the replay, because we know you watched the replay, we will be in the psoas, but we will be in the side body and the sacrum. So we're going to start seated if I can. Sit in the way that serves you and supports you. We're in a closing energy. Thursday will be with fire. So the class later this week will be with water and fire, just really that sort of what motivates us. How are we pioneering? Sorry, I keep rearranging things. So you're gonna sit, I'm gonna sit on my knees. Maybe you want to sit cross-legged. And I'm gonna totally plug Danskin and Costco. I was talking about needing different yoga pants that came up higher, right? For the perimenopausal post-partum waistline. And I was at Costco, and they have Danskin leggings for a really affordable price that fit really well. And we all need pockets these days. And they have pockets, and they have a high waist. And they don't anyway, ask who you shall receive. So we want to receive this ability to remember, to reawaken, so we can reimagine. Bring the hands to your heart. We'll call on the highest and bring down a divine ray of love and protection, and draw a circle around our individual selves, our collective selves, the network, the technology, and the sacred breath that we all share. So no one or no thing can enter or harm us and our bodies and our beings, and that our actions and our efforts today are for the highest good, harm to none. And as we enter into our own hearts, that we come home to our own sacred beauty, our own brilliance, our own ability to breathe and be and reimagine an embodiment that integrates this connection to the way we receive and give back. So feel it in the breath, the simpleness of the breath, the way of connecting to these ideas is first with the breath, because the two parts of the breath create the one, the flowing inward and downward, and the flowing outward and upward. And however you are, feel a rock or a sway, right? That sort of energy that we have in the womb. This mutable water is really about being in the womb, being in the waters of the individual that volunteered their physical bodies to bring us forward. reimagining a connection with yourself, your whole self, and coming into that presence, that center within that is still and dynamic. And I just want you to connect here as you're with the inhale and the exhale. Where is your awareness? And bring your awareness inward. And notice if your awareness goes upward when you inhale or downward when you inhale. Just notice. We're not trying to make anything happen. Maybe they both happen. My experience is as I inhale, it goes up and down, and as I exhale, it goes out, forward, and back. So just being aware of your experience. It's not mine. You're going to bring one hand to the earth, keeping one hand to your heart. And just feeling the connection to the ground in which upon you stand, physical, figuratively, literally, imaginatively. Feel the support, feel the continuum of your own growth and discovery and embodiment. And then you're going to bring one hand and just turn that hand on the heart upward. And then the hand that was on the earth, you're going to place it on top. I'm going to be receptive with the left hand and offering with the right. And if you can, now you're going to start to feel this connection to your center. And we're going to make circular movement. Drawing an imaginary circle with the heart, with the light of the heart. Or if you understand the point of the Hridaya, where all things are contained. And however that circle comes, maybe you need to start in the pelvic floor and feel the pubic bone, the sit bones, the tailbone, the sit bones. I personally am going counterclockwise first to clear out. And then we're going to reverse and go in the opposite direction to welcome in. And what this is doing is it's waking up our core. It's asking our psoas to participate. It is also releasing the low back and clearing the mind, because we want to be more in that dreamy state. If we're going to reimagine, we have to let go of that literal sense. And if you need to be productive later today, I promise you, you will be able to. Whether you're live or watching the replay, all of these classes are inspired by the cosmic alignment. However, they apply any day, any time, any moment, because all things are everywhere at all times. There's an omnipresent to the heavens above. And so just 3 more circles. Feeling your core. Don't get caught up if you're doing it right or wrong. You let go of the judgment. You are detached from the results and more involved in the experience. And then you're going to come back to the center. So what we've done is we've drawn a circle or a mandala, right? And our practice is in honor of that sadhana mandala, that sacred way of living. And And feel as you come into a stillness, there's still this movement. So we don't have to stop the movement. You're going to bring those hands, palms together right in the center of the forehead. Reconnect to the breath. How's the breath dancing within you? How are you connecting to that which you cannot see, but that you know, that you can feel, that you can sense, that you can hear, maybe even you can smell, but the touch is absent. And then you're just going to open the palms of the hands in front of your eyes, and then slowly open your eyes, looking into the palms of your own two hands. And then offering up. Big full breath in, offering up, feeling this connection to the center line. We're going to reach over to the right. Right fingers come down. Draw the core in, shoulders to the back, lift up and reach over. Stay heavy in that left hip. 8 breaths here. We're still in this cycle of resilience, at least in my journey and my intention to share with you all. Feeling that connection from your left fingertips all the way down the left sideline, through the left leg, however you're sitting. Sit in the seat that serves you. Maybe you're even in a chair. And then exhale, the left hand down. It's going to come to the earth. Right arm lifts up. So come back to that center point, that sacral, the deep depths of yourself. Lift up and reach over. When you have double water, it's all soul. It's all about going in, down and inward, and honoring. It's where the sacred flame lives. So breathe from those right fingertips through the sideline of the right body. And then inhale, come all the way up. You're going to move out of that seat. You're going to unravel your legs. Stretch them out in front of you. Okay? And then you're going to waddle. Remember these moments, we've done them before. You're just going to go from sit bone to sit bone. Okay, I want us to loosen up the back, help the blood flow. I'm coming your way via this virtual land. Okay? And then you're going to move all the way back. And as you're coming back, what I want you to really focus on is it feels like you're trying to move. This is Anne Ortley's word. Trying to move, but the parking brake's still on, right? We have to actually go backwards. We have to remember. Remember our sacred essence. Remember our potential. Remember the parts of us that are asleep and reawaken. And when we do that, and we can come back to our values, then we can really reimagine an embodiment that brings meaning and support to one another. So as you're sitting outwardly, you're going to move your feet over to the left. Inhaling the left thigh bone forward and exhaling, right? So feel here. Not so much just the movement. Feel in, the thigh bone turns in, you're getting into the waistline and you're feeling that breath into the rib cage, and then as you exhale, the core is coming in and the sit bone and tail get heavy. So as you inhale, the pubic bone's getting heavy, and as you exhale, it's kind of like a pelvic tilt. Right, again, we're going to go with 8. We're going to be fluid today. Detached to the ideas of what it's supposed to be, and more willing to go inward and nourish. All right, so here we go. Thigh bone turns in, drawn to the belly. We're going for the twist today, okay, because I want us to get to the psoas. So you're going to twist all the way over your right thigh. Oh my Breathing into what's there. Right now, it's very interesting how tight you are or how little you feel. Just honor. If you want more, stretch the right leg out long, left leg out long, and then roll the outer right hip down. Stay lifted into the core, honor the rib cage, and 4 more breaths here. Exhale out completely. You're going to inhale all the way up. If your right leg isn't extended out, go ahead and extend out. You're going to keep the left knee bent, okay? This is just more of an internal rotation. It's going to be a lot. Your right sit bone is heavy. Your left sit bone is going to be up off the ground, okay? Draw it into the core. You're going to bring your right arm out to the side. Notice how I'm letting my right foot fall. I don't know if it's cut off or not. But draw into the belly. Maybe even the right elbow comes to the ground. Mine does not because I'm super stretchy, but because I have a lot of limbs, little torso. So honor yourself and breathe. 8 breaths. So now we have this circuit from the left hand through the left side body, down through the right side body. Okay, it's a different line in the body. Last 2 breaths. Exhale up completely. You're going to inhale, come all the way up. Right foot's going to come in. Left leg's going to stretch long. Come to the big toe side of your foot. You're going to readjust, okay? You're going to push into the ground, draw into the core, shoulders to the back, stretch the arm long. And then as you exhale, you're going to come all the way down. You're going to pick this knee up, okay? You're going to hug it in. And then the knee's going to come down, hand comes down, rise back up. So we're going to go for 8, be with your breath. And be more into this connection to moving from that inner space, right? We move the body in those circular directions. We're just reimagining the relationship with your life, your body, your practice, your loved ones, the world, but it starts with you. Not where we're self-absorbed, but where we're in a place of self-honor, respect, and value. Where we can be in an energy where we don't have to defend, but we can just breathe and be. Last one, I think. And then you're going to come all the way down. You're going to turn so the hip comes forward. Find length and fold. So we have not done a lot to warm up the legs. You're not going to just naturally bow all the way down or even as deep as me. But you're going to breathe into what's available and allow for that presence, that coming home. That holding space. You're ready for that healing. Exhale out completely. You're going to inhale up. You're going to stretch both legs out in front of you. And again, sit bone by sit bone, clearing out. And just feeling the shift from side to side. Close the eyes even and feel the movement, not from here, not from the ego, not from the vantage point of trying to get somewhere, but from the connection of using your core and your inner being to really swim through the waters. So I've come all this way. Now we're going to move backwards. Right? And you're pulling back in, and I want you to feel the clarity, right, that you've cultivated even being in this kind of foggy, dreamlike state. Believe it or not, I found this new emoji, and it has like I'll put it in the comments later. It has like, I don't know what it is, but it has like this fog around it. It's just my new favorite one. So come all the way back, right? Knees are gonna bend over. So feet swing over 8 times. Internally rotate the right leg, externally rotate it. So inhale, feel a fullness, spine all the way up the side body, and then exhaling. Because what this is doing, our psoas connects our ribs and our spine to the ground, right? So the way we breathe, we can ground into to manifest, but we're not trying to manifest. We're not trying to make anything happen, but rather go inward. 3 more breaths. And then the next time you inhale and you turn it in, again, we're moving from here. We're not moving from the mind's eye unless you can actually move inward. And the mind, so when your eyes close and the mind's eye open, it's how you can go inward and detach, but still intuitively sense what's going on. Not trying to keep tabs on how you're doing. Draw into the belly, you're gonna twist over to the left, right? We're doing a bigger twist this time. Again, you can stretch that left leg out and roll the outer hip further down. This is just such a healing to our sacrum, to our low belly, to our heart, to our wombs, to our stomachs, nourishing the deeper, darker spots of ourselves that we cannot see, but we know are there. As you exhale, exhale out completely. Draw into your core. You're going to inhale all the way up. Left leg bends. Right knee stays bent. Left leg stays stretched out, right? So again, the tail's going to be heavy. So I just readjusted. Be sure you always readjust. We're in such a readjustment phase. I will post the energetic signature on July 1st. And all of this will make more sense. So draw into the core, thigh bone turns in. You're gonna find length, leaning over, okay? Pull into the core, the tail anchors. Leaning over, finding length, stretching. Right? And if it's available to you. So my foot falls open, my knee though is pointing straight up. It's really important that the knee doesn't flip over, because then your pubic bone on this side's pulling up and this pubic bone's going down. And believe it or not, the pubic bone has 2 bones that can separate for childbirth, right? So we want to feel a connection at our pubic bone. Maybe the hand comes over, maybe not, and breathe into it. always readjust for you. You hold authority. Only you know those innermost parts and pieces of you. Only you know the physiological and psychological ways. Now, you may not know them well, but if you're doing yoga, you're discovering them. And it doesn't mean you're going to like all of them, just FYI. But they're there for you. Exhale out completely. Inhale, come all the way up. Now, draw that left leg in. Stretch the right leg out. And yes, I am still tending to the rearrangement, the adjustment of my inner worlds with my hip and low back. Right leg stretches out, okay? So you've got the inner edge of the foot, strength. You're gonna inhale, right? So you draw up and feel this whole connection. So clearing it out. And then exhale, your inner thighs are moving back. You roll over, the knee comes up, and you just hug it in, right? So it's a little more of a dramatic expression. This is like healthy drama though, okay? This isn't getting all caught up into the harsh words and judging others. That's just being caught up in your ego and borderline narcissist, right? Stretching over, drawing in, but we want to be able to, like, how do we survive? How do we forge new lands? We go inward and we connect. We tend to the sacred flame. Three more. Be with the breath. Be fluid. Be dancer-like. Think of those babbling brooks. Allow the tide to flow out and carry with it the energy that we no longer need. So we can bring in Lulu, right? How about that? Hi, Lulu. Sweet girl. Last one. So here we are. We are here. We're going to bring the hip forward. Open the knee up. Right? So readjust. I have it. Find length. And then you're going to bow. Opposite hand to foot. If possible, maybe just here. And as you're here, you can feel that lotus of your heart, right? I really love, we're going to have to do this, moving into Leo season. This mudra, this is the gesture, and he's holding the lotus, drawing to the belly. This is just so profound that I can have this here in my home. It represents so much to me. There's so much beauty, there's so much delicacy in the gold, and you can't see it, but because I'm bowing to it right now, I'm sharing. So find that delicacy and that subtle beauty with the next 4 breaths here. Even in the pain, even in the discomfort, even in the holy cow, am I tight? We breathe. Exhale out completely, ground down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Stretch your legs out. Both feet come forward. And as both feet come forward, yes, we're going to do the dance. But notice if you can find more freedom, right? You can be more in this place and not just like, that's what I see. So I see this so often at the yoga studio. Like, this is studio. So feel more of this movement, this sort of carefree expression, dreamy, not wanting to be too technical, and then flow all the way back. We have a new moon approaching. We'll have the 3rd quarter this weekend. The new moon is July 9th. It's Cancer New Moon. It's really significant for me for a lot of reasons, but it's significant for all of us. So now here we are. We're going to take our legs wide. Okay? This is not about folding forward right now. Okay? This is actually about making that circle again. So I'm on my fingertips, gecko arm, and just circling around. Okay? And feeling into the depths. Once again, I am going counterclockwise for my own inner clock, sweeping through those parts. And then we're going to go counterclockwise. We're just going the opposite direction 8 times, if you didn't know. And then we're going to lean over. And we're going to actually take the left hand to the left thigh. And you're going to push the hand down to the ground, draw into the belly, and just lean the left heart forward. And then we're going to twist over, okay? Your inner thighs and hamstrings might be like, girlfriend, you are crazy. But hopefully, because we've released this low belly and sacrum and heart region, right? The spot, which I think you all know by now, is to me the most sacred spot of our body, the bottom of the heart to the top of the pelvic floor, right? We have this connection. And then we're going to twist over and fold. 8 breaths. Connecting from that left foot all the way up to the left hand. Exhale up completely. And inhale, come up. And again, they don't have to be big moves, just 8 circles. So you're moving from your core. You're really connecting with this place at our essence and letting the movement come from there. If this is hard for you to find, then we just keep trying. Reimagine a way like I can connect this anytime I want to. And then after those 8, go in the opposite direction. The number is just a number I have chosen for this journey that we're all embarking on together. Whether you're live, the replay, in the moment that these are being recorded, or they're very dated, it doesn't matter. Because they're finding you right where you are. Okay, now we're going to come over and twist. Okay, this side I have to readjust. I can't go, and I'm not going to force nearly as much. Why? Because it actually pulls deep in. I think it's probably when I carried my daughter through the grocery store pre-pandemic, and I was having a little panic attack inside and buying as much food as I could because I just knew that it was essential. Not that the world was going to come to an end, but it was essential to get the supplies in case we had to be quarantined. And it's crazy to me because I remember the store that I was shopping in I had worked at. And so I know the store leader, the one who's in charge, the store main manager. And she was like, oh, we do have toilet paper. It was a joke. And she was spending her whole day teaching people, especially seniors, how to order online. Right? Now, who doesn't order their groceries online? Who hasn't found a convenience that just you can't go back from? Right? So there's lots of things. Last 3 breaths. Exhale out completely, ground into the earth. Inhale, come all the way out. Bring your legs together. Okay, Lou is going to make this a little hard for me, but I love it that she's here today. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Anybody else finding it hard to get off the ground? You're going to tuck your toes, stretch back. And if you'd rather keep the feet pointed, I'm just afraid my feet might cramp. So be where you need to be. Maybe even rub a belly. And then you're going to inhale and come up onto your hands and knees and exhale back downward dog. Oh, it feels so good, doesn't it? It has been a long time since I've given us this much time to get into our inversion, which downward dog is an inversion. And here we are. You're going to lift your heels, bend your knees, roll the feet over. You don't have to bend super deep, but I am. Inhaling through the center and bending the knees going to the other side. Yep, a total of 8. Where are we moving? We're moving from our core, from that sacred flame we ignited. We're detached to the outer expression. And then you're going to come to the center and walk the feet forward. Finding your feet, bending your knees. You're going to come onto your fingertips. And as you come onto your fingertips, we're going to bend both knees and then inhale, lift up and into the left back body, okay? So right knees bent, left legs long. And then exhale, bend the knees. And now the right leg straightens. So this practice, if you were used to like a real physical practice, this is hard for you. Okay, just realize that. So use your tendency to be goal, ambition driven to actually continue to go inward, to let go. It'll actually make you so much more productive out in the world if you can slow down and reimagine. Reimagine yourself as somebody who makes it a goal to be present and come home to that sacred flame within every day, to receive the wise counsel of your own inner light, to feel that spiritual presence that holds you and nourishes you so that when you step forward and show up with that warriorship energy, or maybe you're finally willing to run free naked under the moonlight, that's a little exaggerative, or maybe just be the hostess with the mostest, bring great beauty forward. Honor this time here. Bend the knees into your chest. This is the reimagining that we can invoke the wholeness in ourselves. Inhale, rising up. Opening the heart. Arms sweep up overhead. Draw into that core. Exhale, hinge at the hips. We're going straight back down. Straight down to the earth. Into downward dog. Bring your right knee, pivot, left arm lifts up, draw in, connect, leg lifts, hold on to the foot, draw into the core, shoulders into the back, kicking the foot back, so the knee's slightly coming forward. Open the heart. And then exhale, free the left leg. Left hand comes down. You're going to lift up, downward dog. Right leg lifts. Yes, 8 circles. Moving from that core. So let this move be the move that can support you. And then step it all the way through to a lunge. Pivot the back heel, elbow to the thigh. lift up and reach back. Reverse warrior two. And then exhale, the feet to the ground. Inhale, lift up. Straighten the front leg, so come up, lift up like a reverse standing pose, and then melt back down. Okay, we're gonna do that 8 times. So as you inhale, feel that gathering, that connection, and then exhaling. Feeling the ability to be in that rhythm. And listening to those little inner waves, because what we're here to do is allow the energy to flow. This time we're going to inhale, lift all the way up, reach back, heel toe, the back foot in, shift the weight forward, and inhale into half moon. Now if half moon feels like, whoa, I am so not there, then go into triangle pose, okay? Find the connection, the breath, and then if you like, Chapasana. And then exhale, you're going to free the foot, come back to the earth, downward dog. I'm really messing with my sweet girl's mojo, but notice how she's still hanging out. And here we go. Left leg lifts. 8 circles. Step it all the way through, or not. So you're going to step around. Oh, and then we're going to come into side angle pose, elbow to the thigh. Draw in, head stretch long. Guess how many breaths here? So what we're doing is we're really nourishing the rivers. The deeper layers, so the currents of our wisdom can flow, that we can actually source that wise counsel. The divine lives in every single one of you. The goddess is in each and every one of us. There is a book called Gods in Every Man, and they go both ways, right? It's just more, women have more of the goddess archetype in them, but they have God masculine archetypes as well. And men just have more of, and it's not created equally. Inhale, come all the way up, lift up, reach back. So straighten the leg, feel the full expansion, right? Reimagining a sense of vitality, a sense of embodiment, a sense of connection, not just with your whole self, but within your community, within your family. Even though that might be really hard. And then exhale, you're gonna bend, right? So for me on this side, I have my arm resting, right? And my hand on my belly, because this is what feels clear, to keep this clearness in my hip. It just comes from within. Right, so 4 more. Obviously your knee is tracking forward, your feet are heavy. And then you're gonna exhale, Shift the weight. I gotta shift a lot so I don't dive out the window. Shift the weight, lunge forward, inhale, half moon. Right, so part of what I'm doing is releasing my leg so I can get more lift on this side, okay? It's also clearing this outer line for me. I'm not saying you need to do it. It's just there. Once you find your half moon, you can bend the knee and find your Chapasana, maybe, right? Maybe not. 8 breaths. Maybe it's triangle pose. And then after those 8 breaths, free the foot, comes down, move it back, down dog, full breath in, full breath out. Stretch into your dog pose, inhale plank. Since Lulu's not here, come all the way to the belly. You're gonna pillow your hands, bend your knees, feet roll to the left and the right. And so it's a downward facing twist. Go to each side one more time. Come back through the center. Now I really want you to honor the heart opener that serves you. It's loud and clear for me to find both feet and to take the insides of my feet and then come up into Dhanurasana. Okay, so there's a lot of lift through the insoles, the inseams, and the inner light, okay? Even with the arms, right? I'm not pulling my arms in so much. There's no connection to the inner line of the arms. And 8 breaths. And then bring your gaze through the center. You're going to roll over onto your back. And once you're on your back, come lying all the way down. How did you know? Half happy baby or full happy baby is up to you. Or hold on to your ankles. Okay, I'm definitely going for a ankle hold, and I'm also going to roll from side to side. Right? I'm working on clearing out. It's definitely a scar tissue thing for me. This point that goes from my back straight down into my hip, okay? Come back through the center. You've got to know what area of you you're clearing out. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's just energy bound up. It's stuck, it's trapped. Once you come from your happy baby or just your reclined bound ankle pose, come back to the center. You're actually going to stretch. Keep the left knee in. Stretch the right leg up and just hold on to the leg. Right? If you've been barefoot and walking and just outside more, you can point and flex your foot. But our knees are in. The tail is not coming up. You still want the tail heavy. You still want the inseams of the legs moving back, the outsides of the legs moving back so you can reimagine.
you're going to switch sides. Just bending. Yours may look more like this, by the way. Okay? Bending the right knee, right foot's off the floor. Tail's heavy though. Don't let the tail curl up. Tail's heavy, belly's in, waist is back, shoulders are on the ground. And then you're going to exhale and bend both knees. Feet come to the ground. You can bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. You can stretch your legs long or feet wide, knees together. And I'm bringing a block in between my knees so I don't close off the pelvic floor. Okay? Since I got up to get the block in a very misaligned manner, I had to realign when I came back, right? And in that realignment, we can let go of the attachment to our performance and come back into our perspectives. And reimagine here. Come back to that breath. Awareness solely on the breath. And what direction is the breath carrying you? Is it carrying you up? Is it carrying you down? Is it carrying you in? Is it carrying you out? Can you receive, can you surrender to the life force that dances into you as you breathe in? Can you surrender to what you're offering out into the world as you exhale out? Can you make peace with the practice of being on your mat, of living your life? enjoy your breath in and the breath out. Let go of the attachment to how it's all supposed to be. And rather to receive the wisdom that's coming through, that wants to be shared with you. And as you breathe in and you release, enjoy the wisdom that's helping you to reimagine, to cultivate a vision even amidst this fog of humanity. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, stretch your arms, legs out long, roll over to one side. Stay for as long as you like, and then slowly come up seated. And as you find that seat, find yourself sitting well. And in that wellness, that wellspring of your own heart. That wisdom that sits within. That presence that can babble through you. The great waves of wisdom that can flow over you and carry out to the ocean of compassion, that which no longer serves you, and then bathe back over you, that which will nourish you and support you. To reimagine our dance with life and awaken to the sacred and live brilliantly. Straight from my heart to yours. Namaste. I appreciate you, and I am happy to have you here, however this finds you. So, be well and be true and be soulfully you, straight from my heart to yours. I really do appreciate you, and continue to reimagine, and I will continue to offer ways of reimagining, ways of articulating your soul, ways of grounding new beginnings, ways of coming alive, ways, I feel like saying waves of energy that can support you through these times. You have to remember you are living, and I said something to my daughter the other day, I forgot something and I was late, and I said, you live and learn. She goes, Mom, the only way you can learn is if you live. So keep living. Live with your bright self and your beautiful breath. And I will see you again. Bye.